Good golly, here we are, February, what is it? Not 13th, February 17th. Thursday, February 17th, 2022. Here's just a little thing I was sewing here. I got like 14 and a half, 15 and a half yards of fabric there, canvas, and some webbing, whatever. I'm making a pontoon boat cover. I'm sorry, it's not a pontoon boat, it's a deck boat. It's actually fiberglass deck boat. But it's a big square boat, and this cover is going to cover this whole thing. And I also did all the seats and benches and upholstery on that boat. My bamboo is really suffering from that cold a couple weeks ago, but hopefully it's going to come back. But the exciting thing I did today is I started my first right here, right down. Oh man, you can't even see them now. Can't see anything. This is all buried. These are my Zuling mushrooms. If I dig this up under here, hear that? There's a log under there. There's another one over here somewhere, maybe. Yeah, right about there. Anyways, Zuling mushrooms grow underground, so I took some branches and I split them on my bandsaw. Made a very nice, precise, fairly straight cut right down there. And I put my spawn inside there. And then I buried these below ground level with some little bit of leaves in there. Man, I'm going to outline this with some rocks and put some moss and stuff over here. Maybe some more logs on top. A little bit of, duff top dressing. And that's my first medicinal mushrooms going into the ground there, just about 6 foot south or northwest of the oak tree there. So there's some other oak roots running around here. But I think those logs that I cut on the bandsaw, and I clamped the logs together really tight with some wood clamps and stapled them together so they got a real nice tight fit. And I rubbed azomite and sawdust around the edges with some water, kind of like made a grout to, seal the edges in. And then burying them underground is going to help keep the flies and little bugs and worms and squiggly things out of there. So, because Zuling mushrooms grow underground primarily. So, I need to get a good duff layer on top of there. Some compost. Oh, some peat moss, which I finally got again. $10 a bale. I need to go get about 3-4 more bales of this before it goes up in price, because that's a pretty good price for 3 cubic feet. I paid like $12 or $15 for the other bag over there that I got a couple months ago that was about 2.1 cubic feet. And so that's a pretty good deal for peat moss. I could spread a little bit of that on there too, but I don't want to do too much of that. That's kind of expensive to be spreading around on the ground. You need to put that in pots for growing stuff and for my worms, basically. And oh, the forest over here. I have to pull up all these. I got a bunch of vines growing over here, and I need to start exterminating and getting rid of those. So I stripped all this out around here, which they kind of froze first, and I stripped them all out, dug everything up, and I've spread some oak leaf around here, mulch, to help retain a little bit of moisture and stuff. Spanish moss, need to get rid of that. I've stopped burning things. I used to burn everything, burn a lot of stuff. I'll burn stuff to get charcoal. I do need a little bit of charcoal. Need to put some substrate in here, some foundation, a little bit of. I need to get at least 18 inches of spongy, topsoily surface here that's going to hold moisture, because what this is right here is just sand. And this will get some standing water here, but it stands, then it soaks in and it goes away, and then you have basically a desert again, and there's not much minerals or anything. Oh, I did spread a bunch of azomite around here, which is volcanic ash, which Florida never gets. So I'm, trying to build the soil kind of step by step here. But yeah, charcoal would be good. Charcoal, if it was, especially if it had some essential nutrients. And oh, actually, I'm trying to grow some lab solutions, some lactobacillic acid, and some essential mineral, EM1, I think it's called, or something. I didn't think about all that, but I got some rice buried over here. Oh, here's those viney things I'm trying to get rid of right there. They're a mess. But somewhere around here, I have a tag buried. Where did it go? Oh wait, I'm at the wrong. Over here, wrong side. Forgot where I buried it. Right there it is. So 125. We're gonna leave that in there for about a month, and I gotta dig that up, take that rice out of there, and spawn and aerate that and make some EM1, I suppose. Oh, and here's my mushroom logs, which I uncovered this morning and sprayed, but now I left them uncovered, so they're all dried out again. These are my giant lion's mane logs. See, even though they're dried out a bunch, they're still doing pretty good. Got some moss growing on there. It's kind of hanging out to there. This side's a little better. It's not in the sun. Of course, we can't see it. So there we go. Yeah, see how my moss is growing really nice. Very beautiful. I put a little tree fern on there, but it's not liking it. I didn't get very much root with it, so it's not liking that. Moss is doing fine though. Oh yeah, my biggest log yet, I think this is. My black pearl I did on February 2nd. This giant thing, like 150 pounds. I think it's pretty well fused. I can push on it, and it doesn't seem to move very much at all. Do you see a couple little ants and stuff on here? There's one. Get out of there, ant. Go away. But, yeah, the thing I did today with the Zulings, the azomite, and then water azomite, and then scrub some sawdust in there and make kind of like a grout to fill the crack, because here in Florida we have a lot of bugs, a lot of flies, a lot of bugs, a lot of larvae, a lot of everything bad. Ants too, especially, and ants with larvae. So you need to seal all those cracks up. But you can see here, look, there's some little flies and fruit flies and stuff in there. They smell that spawn in there. These are, of course, my pink oyster logs. These are from the beginning of January, I believe. These are some of the first logs I did. Now, I did harvest some mushrooms off of these. Oops. Oh, the top's coming off. Let's look in there. Oh, that's not pretty. Uh-oh. These might have went south. These may not be doing so good. Might just be the top, though. And it seems pretty tight. Well, we'll let that go. Yeah, I don't know. I got to get some kind of sprinkler system. It's been, when it's not raining and it's a little bit dry and you got some wind moving around, and you don't have very much cover yet. I don't have in fact, my canopy that I did have is kind of died back a little bit, or burned, frozen back a little. But I think it'll catch up. Oh, my poor asper over there. Yeah, my asper, there it is really hurting from that cold. But this is the one that I started to put a air layer on here. Oh gee, I don't know, about 5-6 months ago. And I noticed the other day was a little bit dried out. I've watered it since then. Come on, camera, try to focus once in a while. There you go. There's a little green shoot in there. So the whole plant looks pretty dead, but the part that was protected down here in the air layer thing didn't get burned, didn't get frozen. So that part may actually grow back. I don't know if there's any, I don't see any roots growing down there. I don't see any roots yet. If there was roots on that thing, it'd be popping right out of there, I think. So I'm going to let it go a little bit more. But at least there's some green shoots in there, and it doesn't look like I totally killed it. Looks like some of this is green, and then some of it looks like really, these are pretty hardened off. This one looks green, and that one looks pretty dead. Maybe I should trim that up and put some beeswax on it. What do you think? Any comments would be appreciated. Yeah, it doesn't look good up there at all. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that's not good. Very not good. Oh, we're flying squirrels. We actually, that's our, well, you can't see it here, but that palm tree through there, that's our tree with the flying squirrels. And we actually, there's a bunch of flying squirrels all over the place. They're not endangered or anything, I guess. They're really hard to see. We got to get a black light, apparently. They light up with ultraviolet light. They're only out at night. And when you shine the ultraviolet light on them, their bellies turn pink, so then you can see them. So we're working on getting ultraviolet black light flashlight to spot our squirrels. Oh, here, look. This is my ground cover that I put in here. And like I said, I just put all these leaves on here to try to retain a little bit of moisture in here, because I put this birdseed ground cover on here and I'm trying to grow some, grass and millet and, stuff for the animals. Well, the animals already loved it. I had some possums, maybe, and raccoons. They came out and dug everything up and tried to eat it all, but some of it was dug in pretty good. So, there's little bits and pieces of it growing around, but I haven't stomped too much. There's some indigenous little weird stuff that I could never focus on there. It's kind of like a moss, but it's a tiny little, and it takes full sun. It grows out here in full sun, but it's yeah, pretty cool looking. I'd like to have a whole little putting green made of that. It'd be really cool. It has kind of a deep root. It spreads out. I've tried digging it up before. It didn't do so good, so I got to try to cultivate this and spread that out. Maybe get some soil around it, because you can see everything's just sand. This is typical. Here's the forest. Here's the forest in Florida. Look at this. There's what I'm starting with. Sand. Nothing in it. That's it. All right, big long video cut.